Hey there. So today I want to catalog some of the things that have been transpiring since I launched my Indiegogo. It has been absolutely insane. You know, when you're talking about launching your own thing too, this is what it is. The case of the littlest umbrella. This is essentially an all ages Lovecraftian experience. You basically start out with someone summoning something, get detectives on the case, and well, it's all ages, meaning that there are horror elements you can enjoy, but still everyone can enjoy it. It doesn't mean for kids only, it means for everyone. You'll notice a character that you recognize, and well, if you watch live streams there, you'll recognize this kid too. This is my 5-year-old daughter. Also attached to this is something that pays homage to Comicsgate because, well, we have been out here a long time. We have been changing up industry, and well, you know, yep, it's been an interesting ride. So some people out there, they don't seem to like this. I mean, certain people out there, we have gotten to this point now, and yeah, apparently all of this now is a threat to family, but not to just theirs, to mine as well, you know, because I'm a monster out there, apparently, you know, slander and revile. But then again, you kind of expect this kind of stuff from people who in the past, you know, years ago went out and threatened kids. Person out there years ago that says, hey, I used to love baiting people for the Republican Party when I worked there. That was literally my job until they got angry enough to make a scene and draw attention to me and my message. A person that has doxed people in the past, this is actually very important for part of that because it shows that this person will. And well, Nazi hunter, you know, I like to hunt those Nazis. I like to go out. I like to deplatform the hate. And well, you know, Tug there. Tug, you know, he is Nazi affiliated. Remember that too, because, you know, something about quote unquote threats. You saw that at the beginning. Your fans and threats. Well, you know, calling people Nazis and having people say, I'm going to string up Nazis. Yeah, those could possibly be connected. Now, I apologize for the way that this is set up, but this is the way I'm going to have to do it. Basically, I'm going to have to go in, show you tweets out of folders like this. So here, Day 1, we're talking about deplatforming. You see, look at this. And well, it starts right out in the comments there. You can see the deplatforming attempts. And well, you see people liking them, including, well, the person that's talking about that. You can see, tagging in Capcom by now, talking about don't know anything about trademarks, but hey, doesn't really matter because, you know, logo and because internet lawyer. Now, this is a little out of place here. This is actually from another day, but shows you a character that they're trying to compare to this character because, again, they want to go and get it flagged. You can see the people in the comments, too. It'd be a shame if it got reported for copyright infringement and got their little campaign shut down. Yeah, that would be a shame. Seen that before and so on. You go through here, remember this person right here in it. And of course, you know, here's hoping the studio behind Blaze Blue series isn't litigious. So, you know, trying to go out and trying to deplatform something, trying to take it out because, yeah, that's it. It's been really interesting to hear them throwing around terms like tortious interference when they do this right out in the open. Oh, man, I thought they didn't believe in that, but hey, you know, good stuff. Now, when we get to Day 2, Day 2 gets a little frisky. And when I say a little frisky, you got to keep up with a few things here. First of all, you need to know who this person is. This is Krissi. Now, Krissi, you know, if you think that's nobody out there, well, Krissi is actually a friend of Ren's in real life. They are actually close friends. Ren, of course, has been obsessed with this person named Lola. In fact, here is a threat to dox Lola and to dox myself in it. You can see this conversation. It happened a month ago, so this is important too. Lola, Krissi are important. Is that why your husband made up a story about having someone call his work? My husband don't pretend to know them, basically not going to work anymore. You too should be more careful who you confide in. I wonder how you'd like me spamming your real name everywhere. That's a threat. Now remember, Nancy. Nancy was doxxed too. So that kind of works into the entire narrative of one would be doxxed by them. Now, this whole craziness, now, it's pursued by Ren. I made a wild guess that she, talking about Lola, who she is based on tweets out there. That's the original thing. Apparently, I am just a very observant person because it was confirmed by Ren. So Ren is confirming a narrative. Now, what narrative is being confirmed out there? Well, that my kids are Lola's kids. Essentially, people need to go out there and they need to find my kids because that's normal, right? That's normal, yeah. Oh, man. This kind of stuff here, this is when things, they go sideways and they go overboard. Because, going out and hunting down people's children, that's pretty messed up. Most people, even doxers, wouldn't do that. And while they're doing it, I would hope that they get the right amount of kids there. At least there, because I don't have 2 kids. So, if you're talking about my kids, well, I don't have 2 kids. If you're talking about, again, with her kids, her kids, my kids, everything but the right narrative. Most people would understand that. Now, of course, this narrative, it's going to shift a few times. You're going to have a fight pop up where these people try to throw each other under the bus. And also, they're going to start talking about, it wasn't from Twitter, it was from live streams. She actually confirms this, which, again, would that really matter at the end of the day? Would that make you a better person if that were actually true? Would that have made this better? You've either gone out, targeted some random person to get to me, or you've targeted me to get to me. I mean, that's beautiful. Either way, crazy, and that person actually leaves, and this continues going on. Now, you have the under the bus stuff. Is everyone else on Twitter responsible for what their real friends do, or just me? Because I need to separate from this, even though my friend over here is saying, yeah, look at that right there. Confirmed. You confirmed that. See? Her husband. You're the one who put me on the scent, Ren. That's lovely there. Good stuff. Now, besides these people and the oddity, I mean, there's a lot of oddity there, but I'm trying to condense this into something. You have certain people out there that want to pick up with other things. Now, this guy, Marc Lombardi, this guy, oh man, you should watch some of my other videos on him. Essentially, this guy became so obsessed with people out there that he took his work Twitter. He worked for Shadowline, which is part of Image Comics, and he attacked somebody with it. They had to get on to him. He kept doing stuff like that, and well, he attacked Ethan Van Sciver one day, and poof, to a Shadowline, if you go look for it, it's gone. It's totally gone. Well, you'll notice a few things in here. You'll notice him throwing out the word P to the E to the D to the O, talking about the book, talking about the 5-year-old demon girl. Now, what's interesting is the number, 5-year-old, because 5-year-old, well, he's going to say later on, I just came up with that number. That number out there, it's just random. But, a little problem with that. Months ago, he was actually talking about my kid, and he would lead with things like 5-year-old, 5-year-old. He threw it out there multiple times. Right out there in the open, easy to see. So, yeah. Now, he ends up redacting the part, the P to the E to the D to the O part. But not because I ask him to. No, not because of pressure. No, because poor Krissi is getting that. Is taking lumps for it. Now, as these people, they go out and they rant and they rave, it leads to other things. Other wonderful things. Like, hey, I'm going to send Child Protective Services to check up on Umbrella Girl. Doesn't that sound fun? Threats of this. And not only that, but people that find ways to take up for these actions. That's the most insane part of it. You have people out there that are talking about that. When they answer, this person, I don't have the screenshot here, I pull it into this folder, but they essentially say, hey, wellness check. What's bad about a wellness check? Other people, of course, are like, how do you report Tug out there? But remember, again, got your docs, that kind of stuff there. So do you take that seriously? I also want to note, again, not pinning this on anyone out there, but I do pin the wording, the idea that Nazis, white supremacists, all of that stuff. I've known 2 people that have been swatted because of this type of trash. And well, when you know two people that have been swatted out there, do you really put it past somebody to swat you as well? Or to call CPS as well? Do you really put that past people? Now, while going through this stuff too, I mean, you also have wonderful people start other things as well. You know, like the mass flaggings. The mass flaggings are a lot of fun too. You, of course, have SJW Spider-Man kick that off. You know, the one in his profile that said, "I scared diversity of comics off Twitter," you know, because that's actually rational and sane. And these people, they're going out, tagging everything. Tag Twitter support, tag YouTube, tag Indiegogo, try to deplatform, because that's totally rational. Going out and reporting Tug's stuff everywhere you find it because, quote-unquote, harassing you, yeah, gotcha there. Why is no one reporting Tug to Capcom for using that stuff? Yeah, gotcha. Oh, well, you know, Tug was out there, someone said something you felt was mean, he didn't denounce it fast enough, so report you. You know, this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, like I say, if we're talking about threats, if that is the antithesis of this, here's somebody that is talking about backing my book. You notice that here. You know, going through, you can see them posting things like Jew Bear as an answer. You know, a guy who beats people with baseball bats because they're quote-unquote Nazis. Remember that Nazi affiliation thing? And yeah, and thanks for letting me know about more Nazis to march to the gallows. I'll try to get your good side while you're dancing at the end of the rope. Fun people, huh? You know, and there's a lot of this obsession with Nazis and hurting people and on. You know, of course, not only that, but, you know, responding to people saying, yeah, that's not quick enough here. We need this kind of stuff. Now, there's much more of this crap, too. I mean, this has been days upon days upon days of this stuff. But it gives you an example of just a little snippet of what it's like to go out and to launch an Indiegogo. This is exactly what kind of BS you get when you don't lockstep to industry. That I find to be not only fascinating, but what I find to be particularly disturbing is the fact that one of the people doing this, one of the people that is right there involved, right in the center of all this garbage, pointing the finger and saying, "Getcha. Getcha." And you know, that's one of the more interesting topics too. People that go out and they do that, you know, you want to talk about accountability. Well, it's pretty interesting, again, to consider the same person trying to link people to Charlottesville, saying they love to cyberbully, saying they love to go out and hunt those Nazi scalps, saying that people are Nazis, all of this stuff that is built out on top of doxing. And yeah, you see people in the industry, people like the CCO of Marvel giving back pats, certain professionals out there giving back pats, all in this, while, of course, that person tries to spin this and spin it until you spin the wheel enough that it turns back around and now it's a victim narrative about them. Somehow, in some way, all of this BS becomes about them. That, like I say, is particularly interesting. So anyhow, I thought I would catalog a little bit of this crazy, but again, I don't have all day to go through all of these things. There is so much out there. You can go and do certain searches. You would find some particularly fascinating things. I also would encourage you to go and look at certain accounts out there. Certain people, you know, that are supposed to be above impunity, you know, supposed to be above all of that, not causing any problems. And look up how many times they flag out people for being racist, sexist, for hating the brown person, for going out and hating women, for going out and being these things that, again, it causes all of this. It's part of it. And again, to be rewarded for that is absolutely insane. So anyway, if you want to check out the project, that's great. But I thought that could be a nice little snippet to say exactly what it looks like. People hunting down your kids, people threatening CPS, people going out and mass flagging every platform that's out there. I actually ended up deleting my Twitter past there because of two things too. Number one, because of mass flagging. You have people out there mass flagging, they're all good with it. And number two, I kept thinking, did I ever post anything way back when? when I thought you could actually communicate with these kind of people, when I actually had a bit more optimism, did I ever make the mistake of posting something that they could actually go out and utilize? You know, they've talked about why would somebody need an avatar for a kid? Well, that's because people out there that would go hunt them down, they might well stick a brick in their face. And that's a scary world. But anyhow, I also want to thank you for showing up, for being part of endeavors, and of course for support. It's been an interesting ride. Also, of course, do not contact any of these people because, well, you know, there's nothing good in it. Archive what they do. Archive their threats especially, because that is useful. Go out, archive their entire history, go out and again, you know, showcase who they are, what they have done, day after day, week after week, month after month, through a year plus, how they have gone out, they have set these kind of stages, turning people into essentially something in current year. You know, when you're going out and saying back books like always punch Nazis, if you'd have a problem out there with punching Nazis, you're probably a Nazi. Hey, by the way, you're a Nazi? Yeah, says plenty. But anyhow, I appreciate you showing up. We'll do this again soon. Thank you.